What is going on, fellas and lady fellas? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today, I'm doing a little discussion video talking about ABCs because I do think they're in an interesting position, all right? So really the basis of today's video is pretty much just talking about ABCs and how I believe that coming up, they will potentially be at least a tier 2 threat, a legitimate threat in the metagame that you should probably know the matchup of because they will be really solid. Now, there's a couple reasons why I'm talking about this and why I believe they'll be decent. And the main thing is just support. They're getting like weird cards that you didn't even know were supposed to be cards for this deck, and then they are. And then there's some cards that are definitely supposed to be for this deck, and those are also good. So pretty much today we're just going through all the cards that they've gotten and are going to get that really buff the deck and are going to put the deck in a position to really be a major threat in the upcoming months, specifically in Master Rule 5 or the new Master Rule, because you're not locked into ABC Dragon Buster taking up your extra monster zone. If that is a situation you're in, you can just kind of plop him on the field wherever and not have to worry about that, which is really nice. But anyway, so we're moving on. We're going to start with the first card here. And I actually didn't even put Barricade Board Blocker in here, which also is a nice card in the deck. It lets you discard certain cards. It lets you get stuff into the graveyard. It lets you get Union Hangers back from grave on the end phase, as well as protecting your Union Hanger, because it is a very important card for your deck. But yeah, I didn't include him in here because he's so generic, but this one's a little more specific. The first one is Gadget Giada, the Gleaming Vanguard. This one came in Chaos Impact, which is, we're 2 sets past that now. Well, 1 set, I guess, past that now. But this card was like a weird little card where a lot of people saw it and they said, this card definitely has potential, but I'm not sure what it's great in. Well, the first telling sign here, it's a light machine. Right there, you say light machine, and what does anybody think in Yu-Gi-Oh! If they know the game any kind of well? They think ABCs, light machines, easy. And so that's kind of where we end up here, is that it does kind of support it from that end, being a machine to make certain link monsters, as well as being a light machine for certain card effects to pop off. And yeah, it's a really nice card. It lets you, if you do open it with like a Bee Buster Drake, you can normal summon a Bee Buster Drake, special summon this by tributing the Bee Buster Drake. The Bee Buster Drake will just search for another piece, and then while this card's on the field or the turn it was special summoned, it gives you an additional normal summon. So you can just normal summon the new piece you got, link those off for potentially a platinum gadget. If you searched an A, the A could add the B back to hand. I don't even think they're hard once per turns. Don't quote me on that though. And then the platinum gadget will let you special the B, and then you could link those off again. Or, well, no, you wouldn't be able to do that. But you would at least be able to special it and end there, because I think platinum gadget can't be used as material to turn it summoned. But right then and there's like a mini combo, and that was literally like 2 card combo, and kind of get things rolling there, get yourself set up to make an ABC Buster Dragon on the quickness pretty quick, right? So yeah, it does have synergy, and I actually don't even know if this card will actually be that good in the final version of the deck once we have all this new support out, because it's questionable, because this card does only work in very specific hands, and in other hands it's like really not good, like at all. So yeah, there's some weird stuff there, but I still think it is really good regardless. So yeah. So next card up is Union Carrier. This is from the Link Frames Pack 3. We actually don't even have a set confirmed for this card. I would assume we'd get this sooner rather than later, question mark, just because we're kind of getting all this. We've been getting this ABC support kind of one after another. We got Yada and Barricade Board Blocker. Then we're getting Union Driver and Eternity Code. We're getting Malfactor's Command in the new Machina structure deck, I think. And yeah, so like after all this stuff builds up, eventually you're like, so why are they going to give us all this support and then hold Union Carrier? Well, Union Carrier is a really powerful Link monster. If you didn't know, it's almost completely generic. It just takes 2 monsters with the same type and attribute. If you're playing a certain archetype, that is very easy to do. And yeah, it's really strong. So it cannot be used as link material to turn it into summon. That is a nice hindrance to make it not too busted. But you can target any face-up monster you control and equip one monster with the same original type or original attribute as the targeted monster from your hand or deck to it as an equipped spell. Then that monster gains 1,000 attack, but if you equipped from your deck, you cannot special summon monsters with the same name as that monster card for the rest of the turn. So there also is a nice little restriction, sort of, in most decks, but not ABCs because it's ABCs. Because of the other new card that we'll talk about in a minute. But this is really, really nice. It means no matter what, as long as you put any two machines, any two light machines on the board, you can make this and pull any other ABC piece out of the deck, and then gives this thing a buff. Like, even if you have no other monsters, he can just target himself. He'll become 2,000 attack with the monster equipped. Keep in mind the ABC pieces do have some utility as equipped pieces because they do make the monster they're equipped to unaffected by whatever color they correspond to. A is kind of brownish, so it'll make you unaffected by monster effects. B will make you unaffected by spell effects, and C will make you unaffected by trap effects. So those are actually pretty nice, and they also protect you from one destruction. The first time you would be destroyed, you just attach them instead, which is pretty nice. I mean, like, it can just at least be annoying for a certain deck to deal with, or force them to allocate extra resources to completely break through it. It's pretty cool. As well as the fact that the, Buster Whelp, I believe is the name, the Buster Blader monster that is a light dragon, so it is light, it does share light with Union Carrier. You can equip it straight to this card from the deck, and then while that monster is equipped to a monster, your opponent can't special summon for the extra deck. This guy becomes 2,000 and your opponent can't summon for the extra deck. How do you get over 2,000 without being able to summon for the extra deck? You don't? I guess evenly matched or like specific like back row removal can get it done, but like it takes like specific removal cards that are spells and traps and not monsters to kind of get that out of the way. There are other like niche cards that can do it, but like mainly it's going to be a pain in the dick for those cards to kind of for a lot of decks to try and break through that. But yeah, this card's just so good in so many ways. It's a great extender in that deck. It can be a really good extender in Orchest. I'm not sure because I know I saw that before Harp got banned, so I'm not sure how good this is in Orchest anymore, but I still think the potential is there for sure, and I'm sure there are other implications for this card as well. Just being able to pull certain cards out of the deck for certain archetypes definitely can help do some unlocking there. And the next card we have is Union Driver. This card's actually coming in Eternity Code. That set is phenomenal, by the way. This is one of the reasons why. A really nice support card for ABCs, and really what this card says is once per turn you can either target a face-up monster you control and equip this card to that target, or unequip this card and special summon it. If the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle card effect, destroy this card instead. So basic equipped stuff. But the main thing is you can banish this equipped card to equip one appropriate level 4 or lower Union monster from your deck to the monster this card was equipped to. So the main thing here that I really, really like is you can equip this card straight from the deck to one of your monsters via possibly Union Hanger, via possibly the last card we're going to look at in a second, or anything, you know what I mean? Whatever gets you, or Union Carrier, I guess would be the other big one. But the main thing is you can just banish this to get whatever one you actually want. It has to be a level 4 or lower Union monster, and once you do, you go into any of your pieces, whatever piece you're missing, or if you wanted to get to B, get a search, get to another one, and keep going from there. The main thing here is stuff like Union Carrier. It says, let's see, the monster equipped cannot be special, like monsters with the same name cannot be special summoned the turn they are equipped to this card. So with this card, you could literally just equip Union Driver, then banish Union Driver to just special or equip a B, and then because B didn't use his own first equip effect and he's not the same name of the monster Union Carrier equipped, he can be specialed that turn and then potentially be used as link material to extend out the booty hole and just keep kind of rolling after that, which is really, really cool for sure. I really like this. This is also really good for the next card because it kind of has the same restriction and kind of helps you avoid that. You're not playing this at more than 1 or 2 copies, but it is still really nice in the deck with maneuverability and getting through certain plays, working around certain restrictions and stuff like that. But it's really, really nice. And the last card we have here was revealed in the Machina structure deck that I don't know if it was really intended to work for this deck, but it really does, and it almost seems like it was designed for this deck, but I digress. This card says target a machine monster you control. Equip one appropriate machine union monster from your hand or deck to that monster, but the union monster you equipped cannot be special summoned this turn. So that same restriction, the monster you equipped that turn cannot be special summoned. So what you do is you just equip Union Driver, then banish Union Driver to equip A, B, or C, and then they can special summon themselves, and then they could be used as link fodder. They can get their effects. If you got a B, B's going to let you search. If you already had a B, you could get a C or an A and get their effects to either recover or special from hand, and you just pop right on off, and it's wild. This card's really, really nice. It really helps you extend through certain plays. For sure, it really helps you extend through certain hand traps and just extends you, if they don't have a hand trap, even further. Not just get to a buster in one turn, but even further than that. I believe, I don't know if I went all the way through this, but I believe this can get you to a buster, a turn one buster with any ABC piece. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it can, like paired with Union Driver, I'm pretty sure it can. So this plus any ABC piece, I think, can get you to any, to get you to an ABC Buster Dragon in one turn, which is actually pretty impressive. But yeah, it's really, really solid. I like it. It's a quick effect. That's another thing that's really nice. So it is once per turn. If you activate one on your turn to kind of extend, you can also set possibly a second copy you drew. And then on your opponent's turn, like we talked about earlier, you can, there is some utility with the ABC pieces in the fact that they do give a monster immunization to certain types of effects, monster spells or trap, according to which one you equip, which means you could literally set this, your opponent activates a unicorn to spin ABC Dragon Buster, or at least bait him out, or maybe you already bait him and still went into unicorn. Then you just flip this, a quick effect, equip him with an A, and then the ABC is unaffected by monster effects, which means the unicorn cannot get over it, and the first time it'd be destroyed, you destroy the equip card instead. So there's a lot of utility here, not just an extender, but also some type of protection in specific situations, and I really appreciate it. I think this card is actually so key for ABCs, and I think this could be a huge part of their success moving forward. But yeah, guys, I really just want to make a video because, like, we've been getting these so, like, spread out, right? Like, Giada and, like, Barricade Board Blocker at the same time. Then we get Union Carrier. We don't even know when that's coming, but I don't think it's coming in any of the sets that these are coming in. We get Union Driver by itself in Eternity Code, and then we get this random Machina card that's not even supposed to be for ABCs, but it works better in ABCs than Machinas. And they're just so spread out, so you don't really realize because they were spread out. So I want to make a video talking about, like, all of them together, and once they're all there, I really do believe ABCs will be a legitimate threat. I'm not saying tier 1, but I do think they could be a legitimate tier 2 at least option that a lot of people definitely should fear in some way, shape, or form, and at least respect the matchup. So that's pretty much it. Just a quick little discussion video here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think about ABCs moving forward? Specifically, once they have all this new support all together, built into one big, one nice, like, I don't know, machine built up. How do you think it'll work? Do you think it'll be good? Do you think it'll be kind of the same and it's not actually that impactful? None of these cards are. Or are you with me? Do you really think they do move up a good amount? But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.